Alright, everyone, I want to welcome you all to the fifth video in this survey series. And I won't make this go too long. We'll go straight into the first matchup of the day, which I apologize for because I made a bit of a mistake in forgetting a matchup, which is the actual 224th place, which will then shift all of the ones after it up the place. But we've got Homura Akemi versus Dave. Puella, Magi, Madoka, Magica versus Homestuck. This had a cast which I vaguely remember watching, and I don't know a whole lot about the matchup. I have notes here, but I know vague things about the two series, and that Madoka Magica is fucked up magical girls, and Homestuck is basically the epitome of an internet web series.
Yeah. I don't know much about Homestuck off the top of my head, I'm afraid. Yeah.
Small note for anybody watching. If you may hear some echoing from my mic, I don't know how to fix it. But hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. But, yeah, reading some of these notes I found for connections and stuff, and from vague recollections of the Death Battle cast of it, yeah, somewhat making sense. I know it's not the most popular option for, definitely not the most popular option for Homura, but I get it. I will at least read one of these paragraphs, in that they are apparently time-looping teenage heroes whose normal lives were turned upside down after a major event forced them to discover a world entirely unlike the one they knew, in which they were assigned roles that came with a differing physiology that is resistant to the traditional means of death. Dave apparently can't die unless it's either heroic or just death. Homura is also immortal like the other magical girls as long as her soul gem isn't destroyed. But it is if it's an instant kill.
Cool.
She also can't stay too far from it or lose control of her body, and they both have the unique aspect of control over time.
Yeah. Seemed nice in the cast.
Yes. Yeah, again, while not the popular option for Homura, that's not to say this one is bad by any means. It is good. I think it's just competing with that one has... competing with the other Homura matchup, the popular one, which I think... I'm trying to remember the character's name. It's the clock chick from fucking Date Alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Date Alive I did watch forever ago. Just, I don't know.
I've watched a few seasons of it. It's very much anime.
Yeah, a lot of, like, there's a lot of, like, I think it was one of the OG, like, big, like, harem animes or whatever. Like, yeah.
Every time I see that title, my brain just goes and thinks of the game Live Alive or whatever it's called.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's just because the titles are similar. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But not really a whole lot more I can say about it, other than if you have the time, check out the cast, and yeah. So with that mistake rectified, we now will move on to two bonus matchups for today, since one of the slots was taken up. But we've got another matchup that had a cast. Asriel versus King Orange. Undertale versus Animator versus Animation. Which was definitely a surprise to see.
Mm-hmm.
But a pleasant surprise. It's like that Palpatine meme from Star Wars. A surprise to be sure, but a welcome one.
Yes. I don't know much, to be honest, beyond what I saw in the cast, but that was nice.
I have watched essentially all of Animator versus Animation, and while maybe not the best matchup for Asriel, it is still a surprisingly good one.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing about King Orange is that, for all intents and purposes, he was a regular guy who lost his seemingly child. From the way that the animation portrays it, it seems to be a child to a corrupted version of Minecraft. Yeah, it ties into the whole Minecraft thing.
Yeah.
He essentially locks in and tries to take over the game to try and rescue his kid, but along the way gains a pseudo child in the purple stick figure, who they essentially manipulate for their own goals, but eventually come to realize that while they probably still want to get their own kid back, Purple reminds him a lot of their kid.
Yeah.
And eventually stands down. Or, well, I think he willingly stands down. Also, fun thing is, King Orange fights directly against Herobrine.
Ah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Because Herobrine shows up in Animator vs. Animation. It's quite a fun thing. He gets his hand on basically the ultimate version of the command block staff that the stick figures have.
Yeah.
Uses that.
That's cool.
So you can sort of see similar links with Asriel there, the whole losing someone dear to them and then becoming a reality warping god, trying to I guess here it says find meaning in what they lost. But yeah. I do like it. I do.
Yeah. Nice.
Hopefully I've said a good enough amount about that.
Yeah.
And like always, if anybody feels unhappy with how we've talked about a matchup, please reach out. So we'll move on to the other bonus matchup, which is Bender versus Crypto, Futurama versus Destroy All Humans. Sadly, I could not find any real notes on the matchup. I vaguely get the idea, but I'm going to preface this with no offense to the person who pitched it, but I think Bender versus Roger from American Dad kind of does everything this does, but better?
Yeah, I always wasn't Crypto like I thought Crypto versus Zim was the thing.
That's also the big Crypto matchup, yes.
Yeah.
Which I think Bender versus Roger and Crypto versus Sim just kind of hit the right notes better. maybe it's just that because I couldn't find anything on the matter, maybe there's some key piece of information that just nails why this works. But I could not find anything. If anybody knows who pitched it, or if the pitcher is watching this, please feel free to reach out.
Yeah, I will. I do really find like if Futurama is a pretty good series. I do want to say Bender can just choose to break physics if he believes it can work. Because there's like an example.
What does he work off? And I don't know.
There's a scene where, like, I think it was when, like, Leela's mutation was going out of whack or whatever, and they were, like, locked in a room, and he's like, he goes up to a wooden door, he's like, all right, guys, I just gotta bend this door, and Fry goes,
I think that was a
wooden door.
I think that was specifically in that episode. I think there was some mitigating circumstance.
But there's been other instances where he goes like, yeah, but this door looks stupid, and he bends it.
I suppose there is that one time he bent an unbendable bar.
Yeah, like he's like, this bar is completely unbendable.
I think it's theorized that rather than being actually unbendable, it was just at a level past anything that was programmed into him, so he essentially just broke his own limits.
I think it's like a robot reads it and they literally go like, "Oh, it says it's unbendable. In my code, I can't bend it." Because I think there was like a Robot Olympics later on. No, there was like Robot Olympics in the episodes later on that also had unbendable bars, and other robots were bending them. So I just find the idea though, unless that wood thing has more context behind it, he can just go, "Yeah, but," and he can just do it anyway.
Yeah, I feel like that wood one they were like in a dream or another realm or something. I'd have to go look at the episode.
Oh yeah,
there was some mitigating circumstance that kind of devalues it as a feat.
Did become a god because he got so many he's gotten so many processing power.
Yeah, there was that time. Yeah, I remember that one.
I don't know if you'd give that to him in a death battle.
No, because it took a lot of setup to get to that point.
He had to kill a bunch of robots. But yeah. Okay, so let's go to the next one, I guess.
Alright, so that's the bonus matchups and the rectified mistake. We're back on to the survey results, and we've got 209th place with Zeta Gundam, piloted by someone called Kamille Bidan. I'm going to put the names on screen while I say this. Versus VF-1S Strike Valkyrie, piloted by Hikaru Ichijo. Mobile Suit Gundam versus Macross. Most people know what Gundam is. I've never heard of Macross.
It's kind of like Gundam.
I would imagine, based on this mecha being a thing, it's clearly some kind of robot thing. Mecha.
Yeah, it's like a classic mech anime, from what I know of it.
Yeah, reading the notes I found on, I think, the Versus Connection wiki. Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Talented teenagers getting hold of military-grade mechs during an attack on their city, joining a freedom fighting group, fighting against a brutal, corrupt military faction, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
Getting upgraded versions, which is what the Magic uses, I think, or...
Yeah. And, more mech matchups are cool,
Similar kinds of love interests, in terms of one being an old friend, one being someone they came to know during their time in the war. Yeah. I don't know a whole lot about the mechs themselves, but I'm sure it works absolutely fine as a dynamic.
Yeah.
I don't. Hopefully, the mech sizes aren't too different as to need to work off of some other rules, but
yeah,
I'm sure it works fine.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not sure what the sizes are for the mechs.
Mech fights are something I'd like to see more of.
Yeah, they're always fun.
Yeah, they are.
Well, like a lot of mech fights, like mecha tends to go a little bit more into like the actual. Here's the signs of how this fucking robot works, like versus which is more fun than just go like here's a super form, makes them more powerful. Like so you actually go more in depth, actually discussing what their suits can do. So,
all right, we'll move on to 208th place with Vinventure versus Taylor Hebert / Skitter. Mistborn versus War.
so
I know there's a desire for some Brandon Sanderson matchups on Death Metal, particularly from Chad, who's a big fan of Sanderson's work, and I know he's a very popular author. So, any chance to
he's like the fantasy author.
Yeah, any chance to get a Brandon Sanderson character on Death Metal would be great. I believe you know more about this than I do, Archive?
I know about Vin a lot. It's very funny that her name is a spoiler, to a degree.
Really?
So I will say this, just because it kind of, like, I guess, in the very first book, she meets a boy who is like the, like noble family. It's like there's the there's like the head of the family. It's like, okay, and then when I die, you're the heir. You become the head of it. Yada yada.
Yeah.
She meets like a boy. Blanking. I suck at names. He is a nobleman, and he is a member of the Venture family. Her name isn't Vin Venture from the beginning. She's Vin Venture because she meets this boy, and in the first book, it's supposed to be like can't trust noble people. You can't trust that this boy is good for you. So by knowing that her name eventually becomes Vin Venture, that entire question in your head about is this boy a good boy goes out the window.
I will do my best to put up a spoiler warning, which I will.
It's such a funny thing that her name is a spoiler. Like, because it removes that question. And secondly, Vin Venture, for those who do not know, because Death Battle fans can't read, we all know this.
Yep.
They come from, so Mistborn is, I think, the first published trilogy, like chronologically, like in real life, like what was the first series they wrote for the Cosmere was Mistborn. Very good series, and in the whole thing with Mistborn is a power called allomancy, which is basically you have a consumption of metal inside of your body that you can then burn to do various superpowers. That is the it's explained very early on by one of the main characters of the first book, of a man named Kelsier. So it's not a spoiler. Explain like this is how freaking metal works. And Vin Venture being a Mistborn, she can do all of them. And they do a lot of cool powers, and the way that Brandon Sanderson describes how they work and has them implemented very interestingly in the novel and have them in the fight scenes are so fantastic. It's brilliant. The first book is extremely good, and I'm going to say this for the fancy nerds in the back. Vin is in the very first book, I can guarantee you, is one of the best written female protagonists for a fantasy series, because not once does it ever say throughout the entirety of the first book that the reason she's able to beat men is because she's more agile, swifter, or more flexible. I've read a lot of books. I've read a lot of young adult novels. and the amount of female protagonists that have the explanation for why they're beating men who are bigger and stronger, etc., than them is because of them being more mobile and more like flexible.
Mhm.
They never do that. It never goes into that. They just go, no, she's fucking good at what she can do. It's
Nice change of pace.
it's like it's such a good series. I've not read Worm. I've seen a lot of good things about it. I think this matchup would be fantastic if they did like a radio drama death battle, or if for one of the side series that people are making, doing a radio drama. I need to finish reading all of the Mistborn.
Like the expected plan for what is it, Light versus Columbo?
How they're doing? I think personally, I think they're doing a graphic novel.
I just remember hearing something.
That's my guess of what they're doing.
Like
it's
that.
not like,
but I guess we'll find out eventually what happens with that
but
one.
like, if you really do like, if you really love audiobooks, the books that are done by Graphic Audio are fantastic, especially for Mistborn. The first Mistborn on Graphic Audio is amazing.
Something I do just want to mention while...
Yeah, but that's me nerding about books.
While the conversation has at least mentioned Life vs. Columbo, admittedly, I was the one who mentioned it. I've been somewhat interested in the idea of Light against Dexter Morgan.
Oh yes, somebody's been doing a series on YouTube putting Dexter up against a bunch of different detectives.
Oh, I didn't know that, but neat.
No.
I'll send a thing in it in the chat later.
Sure.
There is a very funny thing that people point out. Like, the only part about Dexter that makes the series good is the voiceover. Like, otherwise, like if you remove the voiceover from the scenes, Dexter for a good hunk is just deadpan staring at people.
Well, that's TV for you.
It's just like if he did not have that internal monologue, he would just be a socially awkward guy who periodically would go around killing a dude.
All right, we'll move on to 207th place with Tahu versus William Furno, Bionicle versus Hero Factory. And just by the visual that should be on screen, it should be clear the main link in that they are basically red fire-themed heroes that look sort of the similar.
Yeah.
I am 99.9999% sure that William Furno, it's the joke is that his name is Will Inferno, like because you can.
Okay, that's.
I am 99% sure.
That's kind of funny.
Like it's.
Man,
they look almost exact same. I think is Hero Factory like a sequel to Bionicle? I thought it was.
I feel like they're both made by Lego. But...
Yeah.
Bionicle, I'm pretty sure saved Lego from bankruptcy, right?
It did, and it sucks that they don't make any
abandoned it. Yeah.
Like, come on, Death Bell Curse, we need it. Death Bell Curse.
Yeah, that's part of the notes I have here. Hero Factory being one of two themes that is considered a spiritual successor to Bionicle. Using the same building system. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked Bionicle. Like, it's not as modular as Lego, and I'm obviously if Bionicle was making as much money or proportional to like what Lego was, it would still be a thing. So obviously they were looking at the costs and they were like, this isn't making us money. So that's just capitalism, you know.
It sucks, but
like it's like I feel like Bionicle. I feel like it was owned by a different like toy company. Like they would do fairly well. It just
Oh,
It's just
yeah. Very fun matchup.
It-
Cool idea for Bionicle and your Factory Neon. Definitely Bionicle Neon show.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask because I did just gotta bring it up a little bit. The Death Bell Curse. You have a magical gun. You have one bullet that is you have a magical gun that is called like the Death Battle Curse bullet gun, whatever the fuck, right? You have one bullet. You have to point at one IP to hit with
Half-Life.
this Death Bell Curse.
It's not even a question. It's Half-Life. If you think if you answer anything else, you're stupid.
Just make every Half-Life 3 meme come true.
If you can actualize any series into getting another entry, it's Half-Life. Like, I don't know how you could pick anything else.
I personally, I would shoot like George R. R. Martin. I'm like, finish the goddamn book. I read your books in middle school. I should have not been reading your books in middle school.
Speaking of small thing about Game of Thrones that I always like to talk about, a little fun fact is that apparently the Game of Thrones is somewhat based on or / inspired by the War of the Roses from
it's 100% inspired by it.
Absolutely,
it's so.
Yeah, I haven't really read the books to know. I live pretty much. Yeah. I live.
Yeah, you live in England.
5-10 minute drive from the birthplace of Henry VII.
Yeah, go.
I used to go to school in Lancaster.
Yeah, throw up on screen just a montage of like British iconography.
Okay, I might throw up like one thing.
Throw up a picture of
No, you gotta put up like the Queen sipping some tea. Just have it slowly fade on the screen.
That would be funny. We'll see if I do.
Okay, but like, with the. I did want to come back to the matchup. Yeah, this one would be pretty cool. Like, it's definitely. I have loaded the Death Bell Curse bullet twice into the gun. Please, one of these series. I think it's great. I think it'd be cool.
Right, comment. You were saying something?
Oh, I was just gonna ask. Have you seen the Yu-Gi-Oh game that's based off War of the Roses?
Duelist of the Roses. Quite a fun game.
Yes, that's it. It's quite funny. Just randomly.
Yeah. Out of everything they could have, every period of history they could have chosen for something like that.
I think there was, I forget his name, but there was a character in Game of Thrones who was literally like the Rose Knight. I forget his name. He was in like, he didn't become a major character after the first like book and all that. He is in the live action.
Something I want to say is I would love to see if somebody could make a matchup that connects the Sonic storybook games and the Yu-Gi-Oh, like the two Yu-Gi-Oh games in the past, which I think were Forbidden Memories and Duelist of the Roses. If somebody can make a matchup between those games, so Sonic and the Secret Rings or Sonic the Black Knight to Yu-Gi-Oh Forbidden Memories and Duelist of the Roses, that I think would be amazing because it is a wild thing.
Yeah.
That the concepts are quite similar.
Yeah. I've seen somebody recently trying to make a comic based off the They Never Made It, the third storybook Sonic game.
There's a fan project to actually make a third game, which I think is Sonic and the Dragon's Path or something. I don't know. I will absolutely throw up a. I will do my best to throw a picture and a link to the YouTube channel where it's being done, because there's also, I know, remakes, fan-made projects for Sonic and the Secret Rings, which that one's pretty much like well into being done. With most of the levels and stuff. And then there's one for Black Knight, which is very early in development.
Yeah, that'd be a bit trickier because it has motion controls.
No, they both get rid of the motion controls.
Oh, fair enough.
Do you guys want to move on to the next matchup?
We digress.
We have to have
Hell of a tangent,
little
but
we have to have our own little podcast outside of this. Like we're just talking around random bullshit for nerddom. Go ahead.
All right, 206th place. Alma versus Alessa, F.E.A.R versus Silent Hill. Now, before we say anything about this matchup, I need to give a content warning, because the backstories of these two characters is pretty fucked up. But I feel that by hearing the words Silent Hill, that should be pretty evident. If you don't want to hear anything about this matchup, and I wouldn't blame people, because it gets pretty terrible. Not in, like, quality, but in the events are pretty fucked up.
Nah.
Please just skip to the next matchup.
And
we'll see you then.
Yeah.
Now that hopefully everybody that doesn't want to hear about this matchup has gone, Archive, please explain what the fuck this is all about.
Okay. Okay, by the way, in case, I don't know if your YouTube channel is even big enough for this, but in case there is a big old, like, blacked out segment for some shit, because YouTube will, like, demonetization, like, take this down or else we'll take down your channel bullshit.
I feel like the fact that gameplay videos of these series exist, it should be fine.
I'm just saying, if this is removed. Okay, so F.E.A.R. F.E.A.R is, I believe, only 2 video games, and they're first-person shooters, with the very first game being famous for how advanced its AI for the enemies were at the time, and as well as very advanced dynamic lighting, because they did a lot of tricks that modern games still don't really do. They're probably like $10 total if you buy both on Steam. I'm not sure. With that out of the way, Alma is I don't want to say the main antagonist of those 2 games. I'd rather say she's the main negative objective. In the very first game, you're fighting an army of super soldier clones, basically, and they're all psychically controlled by Alma, as she's trying to basically take down this organization that did things to her as a kid. Years ago, an organization went, hey, you know what's really good for military? Psychic super soldiers. And they're like, how do we get that? And then the director of this place is like, hey, my daughter is a psychic lady. And they're like, oh, bitchin'. That means we can get her genetic material and go ahead and make more super soldiers. And they're like, yeah, but we need more of her genetic material. And we need to see, figure out how to do that. What's the best way to make more of her? Oh, let's get her pregnant. And they're like, that's a great idea. Do we need her consent? Nah. Do we need her conscious? No, we can keep her sedated for most of her life. Do we need her to be mature? You can, technically, she's functional as soon as she's, 12.
And that's the bad part.
Yeah, all of it's bad.
Yeah.
So
it just keeps getting worse.
It's also, I'm pretty sure, I think it might be confirmed that the director, her dad was the one who supplied the material to.
Oh my god, it got worse.
And then, this is her backstory is then it got worse.
Okay, if anybody watching this is horrified by this, let it be known, I warned you all to skip.
I'm sorry. And in the game, what you see of Alma, as a little girl. That's because that was what she looked like when her 2 babies were taken from her. And that caused a massive psychic scar both on her and a lot of other people. So the reason she looks like a little girl is that's what she looked like when she had her 2 sons. She then, like, the whole point of the game is that you're trying to get to her, and like, I think it's either to extract her or kill her, I forget, in the first game. And then you get to her, you free her, and the first thing she does is she's now like 20-ish or something, I don't know. She like atomizes like her dad slash the director of this evil organization, just atomizes it. And then it got worse.
That felt warranted on her part to kill the fucker.
Mm-hmm.
So, and because of X, Y, and Z, and her wanting to get more power to either like fuck over the world, because obviously in our world that allows this to happen, should it exist, her son, what you are playing as, who has the power to slow down time, and that's like his big shtick. It's in the first game and the second game. And you also kill her other son, like your twin brother in the first game. She looks at you and says, "Hey, I have an idea to get more super psychic superpowers. I can have another kid, and that kid should have enough super psychic power." And she looks at the first available guy who's around, the person who just saved her, aka
double incest. What? I did not
like, and then
I woke up today. I did not think I'd have to say the word double incest.
Yeah, so, and then the second game, like, she's threatening this for the world because when she goes into labor with her 3rd child, the psychic pain and backlash is sending shockwaves throughout the entire planet, killing people.
Wow.
It's
okay.
It's such a, it's the, like, the person who, like, the people who sat down and were like, "Hey, let's make up the, most fucked up backstory for a girl in, video game history." They succeeded. If that was the objective, they succeeded.
It would be incredible if psychic death waves coming from the pain of pregnancy was the win con for this fight.
No, it's not wonderful. So this is, like, I have to ask, and this is a question for the person who pitched this, and this is a question for other people. Do you want Death Battle to be just demonetized? Because what the fuck? What can you discuss about Alma's backstory and her powers?
I'm actually surprised that this one didn't get swapped out. Because other matchups... there are other matchups that were that the team requested be altered, and I'm surprised this wasn't one of them given the material. Yeah. But I guess technically these events are framed as horrific things within the series, so it's not the worst things that you could put on Death Battle. I mean, look at the series that we've had on there already. Shit like fucking, I guess. Well,
we'll look at like Berserk.
There you go.
He's like one of the darker ones, but they kind of move. They didn't even when they remade Guts' breakdown effectively when they did Guts versus Dimitri, they kind of move past pretty quickly, and they don't actually name drop any of the acts that happened during like the eclipse, really. True. But like Alma's entire backstory is that.
So there's a good question as to how you would even do it. I mean, I'm sure.
Yeah, so like, why?
I'm sure if anyone chose to do it, they'd be able to figure out how to go through it in such a way that it wouldn't get too demonetized, but and now you've only talked about Alma. How much of this does Alessa line up with?
I don't want to go too far into that one. I don't know that much about her, but she's also fucking horrible.
It does seem, everything from the notes I have here, it sort of just lines up a fair bit.
Like it's just a legit question. Like this is like there's two questions for this. One is Deathbell, like you can't really cover this remotely for a series that needs monetization like Deathbell. And secondly, I don't know if we had a way to fully verify every single pitch. So there's a chance that one or two of these, like I don't know how many of these could have been like a dude like, we see this form, let me submit this. Don't understand that it was for people who paid for pitches only.
I mean, I feel like everything on Blue's list for the most part got confirmed, but
yeah.
I'm saying it could have just, I don't know.
Still, I mean,
I want to move past this.
I mean, yeah. Just to wrap this up, I mean, thematically, yes, it makes sense, but I don't think it should happen. It just there's too many problems with it.
Yeah, you would have to give like Alma's whole thing is like she mind controls mass amounts of like clones.
Yeah, I suppose there's also the question.
Yeah.
I mean, how doing it as the dynamic of the fight, which.
Like Alma's
right.
not like a direct fighter. I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird.
We'll move on. All right. I'm going to use that pause there just for the time skip. And for everyone that is joining us and have skipped the previous matchup, good choice, because it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. But we'll go with a much lighter matchup in Misty versus Enid, My Life as a Teenage Robot versus OKKO Let's Be Heroes. Now, I couldn't find much on this. I only found basically a single sentence, that being that they are apparently female ninja superheroes from rival animation networks, Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon. With OKKO being Cartoon Network and My Life as a Teenage Robot being Nickelodeon, which yeah, that all makes sense.
Yeah.
There's not really much we can say about it unless you guys know one or both of the characters.
I know My Life's a Teenage Robot. It's nice to see somebody talking about someone other than Jenny, because Jenny is the obvious one.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know OKKO particularly well enough to say. I assume it matches up fairly well.
I know that it's the main character is like a big fan of heroes and while being one himself, and he collects like these cards of heroes. OKKO is also crossed over with a bunch of stuff, like pretty much all of the other most other Cartoon Network shows. There was also a Sonic crossover that I remember. But yeah.
Cool.
Anything you want to say, Archive, about this, or should we move on?
No, no, not really.
Yeah, good matchup though. From the very little information I know. All right, 204th place. Frieren versus Tatsumaki, which is Frieren versus One Punch Man. Now, I'm going to explain the notes I have on it, where it's apparently just about... It's fairly similar to the Cyborg versus Atom Smasher thing, in a sense, but a little bit more in that, apparently, the matchup is just, quote-unquote, I want to see them fight.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Which makes sense, because based on what I know of both characters, this does not make any thematic sense at all. But Frieren, I'd love to see Frieren get an episode on the show. I think Frieren was one of the 32 characters in Champions Island, so we're not going to see her this year, but hopefully in 2027 and beyond, she'll get an episode. If I had to pick who I like for Frieren right now, there's two matchups that I think got pitched. One of which I think we may have discussed already in Frieren versus Toru from Dragon Maid, and there's also this one called Elena or Elenia, which I don't know if we've mentioned that already, but it might, or it's going to come later. Those are both pretty good options. But yeah, Frieren's a really good anime and a really good character, and I would love to see it.
Yeah, and they did the meme in the new season.
Oh, really?
The looking up one, yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
They actually did it.
All right. Yeah, we'll have to move on swiftly then to number 2 for 203rd place. Edward Elric versus Sophie Mueller. I've almost certainly,
this was a cast.
I've almost certainly butchered that last name for the second character, but yeah. Fullmetal Alchemist versus Atelier Sophie, which I've almost certainly butchered one of those words as well.
Yeah.
Now,
did this?
I know nothing about Sophie. Archive, you said they had a cast.
Yeah, this was a cast, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it was, yes.
Edward Elric is a pretty well-known character. If this... I'm going to look at my notes here, and while you guys say anything you want to say.
The cast was fun.
Yeah, like it was very funny at the very end. Like, oh, I forgot the flamethrower powered by the Big Bang. Like, what?
Yes, and everyone was like, "That was your win condition."
It's
dang.
So it's all right. Like, apparently, out here,
big old alchemy matchup. Alright. Very good, very good. The only other Edward matchup I know of is that one JoJo character, which seems fine from my perspective, but I don't know a whole lot about it. I think right now I'm preferring this one, because at least this is both of them using alchemy.
Yeah.
Or at least it seems to be both of them using alchemy.
Yeah,
but yeah,
they both.
So this is going to be another quick one.
Yeah.
And we'll move on to 202nd place with a somewhat popular matchup, I believe, in Eltnum versus Oleander, Melty Blood versus Them's Fighting Herds. Now, I don't have any notes on this, but this one did have the pitch recorded, which will be linked in the description. And like always, I highly recommend checking it out. I've heard good things about the matchup, but I just don't know enough about it. No.
Oh, okay.
I have to cut that out of the video, but it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So continuing Oleander discussion.
It's been a while since I watched the pitch video for it, but I remember thinking it was nice.
I will have to watch it between recording this and editing it. And I'll put up like a text of like maybe my thoughts on it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Great matchup from what I can tell. All I really know about Them's Fighting Herds is that it was a My Little Pony fan fighting game that got turned into an original project.
Yeah. They got copyright claimed, and so just
it makes sense they got copyright claimed because Hasbro's kind of a bitch.
Yeah.
Alright, well, we'll move on swiftly yet again to 201st place. Clive Rossfield versus Alfin. A character that had a matchup this last year, so...
It's going to be a long-ass time.
Yeah. So, all I know about Clive is what I learned in the death battle. And I know nothing about Alfin, who is from Tales of Arise.
Yeah.
The Tales of series.
I could not find any notes, so yeah.
the Tales of series is a long-going JRPG, generally focused kind of in the same vein as you would imagine for like,
Yeah,
Final Fantasy.
I know vague
It's
things. I know Tales of Symphonia is like the most well-known one, and then you've got Tales of Berseria right after that.
there is a shitload. There is
Well, I'm just talking about like
Feria,
in
there
terms of
is Zelia.
popularity. In terms of popularity, I feel like you would rank Symphonia, Berseria, and maybe Celia, because those are the three I've heard of.
Well, Zelia is pretty.
I could be
That
wrong.
was the first game that basically created the new modern combat system for Tales of.
I know.
So if you are, and it just got remastered onto Steam, and I think it might be on modern consoles. I could be wrong, but it is on Steam, so it's widely accessible. It's like if you're trying to get into the Tales of series, I would recommend Zelia just because this is how everything else moving forward is going to be based off for the combat system. Tales of Arise is, I believe, the most recent Tales of game, unless like they released one I don't know about. I don't really know much about it. Like it's been on my list to get and play. I just haven't. I do think it is very good for the most part. Alphen is obviously not as much of a main character as Clive would, because Tales of Arise and the Tales of series is more about the team, and like the main two characters is often one or two, being a pair. But I think it would be very interesting to see. Just unfortunately, it's gonna be a long ass time.
All right. In that case, we could move on to the matchup in 200th place. And it is Dobby versus Gollum, which, to explain, this was a second matchup pitched by 76 Sub, who used it as another. He basically used the 10 minutes to talk to the crew for the entire time.
Yeah.
But I think I'm just going to say it right here and now, Dobby absolutely kicks Gollum's ass. Just completely.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's how I see it.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, yeah.
Not a whole lot to say about it. But,
I don't. Yeah.
We'll move to 199th place. So bear with me, because this one's a bit of a mouthful. ASW-G-08 Gundam Barbatos Lupus Rex from Mobile Suit Gundam versus C4-621 Raven from Armored Core. The most I know about Armored Core is that it's made by From Software. And I know it's a mech game, so I'm sure the dynamic of this one is great.
Yes, I refer to my earlier comments about mech fights for this one.
I know nothing about the specific mechs themselves, because I could not find any notes about it. But,
mechs are cool.
Mechs are cool.
Raven, I believe there's two Ravens. I could be wrong, because I believe Raven is like a call sign. I think it's a thing in Armored Core. I have not played Armored Core 6 in so long. And so there was a Raven, and then the main character that you play is fights and I believe kills them, and then you become the new Raven. I think this is focusing on, I believe, just because it would have more to work with, is also the main character. I could be completely wrong, but Armored Core 6 is very, very fun. It's very, very cool, and it did get a secret level episode where Keanu Reeves played Raven. I don't think that's the main character Raven. I think that's the previous Raven, I believe. So we can get Keanu Reeves. Let's get Keanu Reeves, baby. How much does he charge to do how much do you think he charges for a paragraph of voice dialogue? 700,000? I don't know.
If he's really interested in the role, he's probably one of He's like the kind of guy I feel would be happy
He takes a pay cut. Yeah.
Keanu Reeves is like such a great guy, man.
Yeah, he is.
He's a good, like, he invented a new, like, I think, technically speaking, he might be one of the most powerful death battle combatants. Because John Wick literally changed the reality because he invented a new form of gun reloading. So he has, so reality above fiction.
Oh yeah, because they were doing a thing in the movie where he like did the shake reload thing, where like thing the mag.
He flicks it to the side,
and then didn't they like discover that was like a particularly good, efficient way of doing it?
It's now like used in official gun competitions. So Keanu Reeves invented a new form of gun reload.
That's amazing.
I love Keanu. He's given so much money to charity in like children's hospitals. He's just
fun fact: I have a cousin named after him because my aunt, his mother, was an extra in one of the Matrix movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
I believe
While they were
Keanu
filming
is
in Australia or New Zealand, one of those two.
I believe Keanu means like morning breeze or something like that. Like it's a Hawaiian name.
I don't know what the name means, but that does sound cool. All right. We'll move swiftly on to 198th place with a repeat character for today. Ladybug versus Skitter. Miraculous Ladybug versus Worm. Bug-themed superheroines and a bunch of stuff about similar enemies, similar friends, some powers, I think, maybe. I don't know. But, yeah, it seems kind of thematic. I don't know how debatable, but I've heard wild things about Ladybug in the Versus community.
Yeah, they did the cast with Ladybug, didn't they?
Maybe?
And it ended up... Yeah, they did one and it went Universal or something.
Oh, shit. They got crazy.
Sort of creation feat or something. I don't remember quite what.
I did once make a Ladybug versus Spider-Man trailer, which was kind of fun to make.
That's what it was. It was Ladybug and Cat Noir versus Spider-Man and Black Cat.
Right. Which I'm unsure if that was a pitch or not.
Don't know.
Anyway, yeah, matchup seems great. Or at least, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it seems thematically sound, but I don't know where it gets the scaling, so
yeah,
it might just be very one-sided. But I mean, that doesn't really matter too much. In terms of
there's a lot of death battles that are like that.
Not really much else to say about this one. So we'll move on to our last matchup for the day. With about 2 minutes before we hit an hour. But we'll obviously just have to go over. This one, I think, is a fairly... popular in Feverine versus Mandrak, Umineko versus DC. My notes here talk about it having perfect connections and limitless fight potential, because apparently they've got plot-based powers, creation versus destruction, which is very neat.
Yeah, I believe he's the Mandrak is the evil version of the more evil version of the Anti-Monitor or something like that.
Yeah, apparently they're two Halloween-based nigh omnipotent gods scorned by their species, but revel in and take satisfaction in the fact that they are seen as monsters. Their power is so great they threaten even the story itself. Underneath all of this, though, is a tragic existence, both struggling with an undeniable cold truth of their universe, that nothing they do matters. And that they are mere pawns in the grand design of everything. It's cool. It's said to be similar to Galactus vs. Unicron in the contrast department.
Yeah.
Huh. Seems very cool as a reality warping thing.
Yeah. It's a nice choice for one of those big matchups, you know.
Yeah, very, very good matchup. Well, that brings us to the end of the list. And we've pretty much just hit an hour of recording. So,
Nice.
to wrap up, is there anything either of you two would like to end here? Or we can just go into the goodbye and all that.
Not really.
Yeah, I think I've covered everything I know about any of these.
Yeah. In that case, then, to thank everyone for watching and for you two for joining me for this.
Yeah,
I wanted to propose a question to farm some comments.
All right.
Because I said fairly early on, what would you do with the Death Battle Curse bullet? You've got a gun. Where are you shooting?
Yes. Do feel free to give your answers and explain in the comments. And know that if it's not Half-Life, I will silently judge you. I'm kidding.
Is it bad that I'd probably shoot at 101 Dalmatians just for the opportunity? I don't know if you know this, but like a lot of Disney films and Studio Ghibli stuff, it's based off a series of novels from England.
Makes sense.
And the sequel, The Starlight Barking, is a cosmic horror anti-nuclear story.
What?
Where Sirius, the dog Star-Lord, a Galactus-like entity, descends and warps reality to give all of the dogs superpowers in order to save themselves from imminent nuclear destruction.
I feel like you're lying.
I'm not lying.
I fully believe him.
It's genuinely true. And I'd love to see Disney try to adapt that.
Oh my god, that sounds insane, but
It is. It's yeah.
That's so wild. That's wow.
Okay. I just need to shoot George R. R. Martin. Just like finish the book.
If I had Half-Life obviously is like the number one answer, at least in my opinion, is what you do. But if I had to give a personal answer of a series that I would like to return for definite,
it's not. It's just getting new material.
It would I kind of have technically three answers. The number one obviously is Mass Effect, but that's kind of already getting a new game. I just want it to, I just really want it to come out and be good. My second answer is I want to see more video games of The Simpsons, because after Hit and Run and The Simpsons game, we got like nothing.
Yeah.
Because The Simpsons
Probably
game was other than mobile games, but The Simpsons game was supposed to launch a whole collection of Simpsons video games, and that just never happened. I'm really sad about that.
I just want to see what people answer. I feel like
and then series number 3, Dead Space.
You only have one bullet.
Yeah. Okay.
You had one bullet.
Well,
you already shot Half-Life. You went for the Half-Life. You dug the bullet out of its corpse.
Because Half-Life is the meme obvious answer. Mass Effect had the stipulation of it's already being made, but I just want it to be good. The Simpsons thing is Simpsons is still coming out with content. I would just like more video games for it. But if I had to pick,
you're hitting 4 targets with one bullet.
Yes, but the last one is the only answer that technically counts for the rules of this whole thing. because I want more Dead Space.
Yeah.
That's a good.
That's
choice.
what I would actually shoot the bullet at.
But yeah, leave it in the comments. Like,
Yes.
gotta farm that engagement.
Yeah.
Gotta like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah. But man, I want more. I want more Dead Space, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, please. Like, I just want to see what people say. I want to see if it's like there's going to be some people who have like this series hasn't got an update in 10 years. Other people are like, I just want more of it. It came out like 3 months ago. I just want to see the dichotomy.
All right. Well, again, thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully, I get episode. Hopefully, episode 4's out by the time soon after recording this, and hopefully, I get this one done and out at the end of the month. But we'll see. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.